We are now officially hearing talks about how XRP is going to make history in 2025. I don't think that I need to tell you guys that we are almost in 2025 right now. A lot of things are aligning perfectly for, this entire space to become absolutely massive. But a big thing is that the utility side of this space is still being overlooked, but that's the biggest piece of the puzzle. Now, in this video, I'm going to be addressing what they're talking about when they say XRP is about to make history in 2025, because no, it's not me saying it. We're going to talk about it. But first, let's start off with welcoming everyone to the channel. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And if you guys are not in the free Discord, what are you guys waiting for? Join up. You won't regret it. First link down in the description below. Now let's start off with this post here, going all the way back to January 3rd, where we have Derivatives Body ISDA updates master agreement for tokenized collateral. Now the thing about this is a lot of people don't realize how big the ISDA actually is. When we really look at some of these organizations and we go over to the membership, for an example, right? If you actually look at the membership on their website, we're met with a thing from them which says the ISDA has over 1,000 member institutions from 76 countries. Now, this includes exchanges, intermediaries, clearinghouses, repositories, international and even regional banks, commodities firms. I mean, this is spanning basically everything because this is a derivatives organization. You can look through all of their members if you guys want, but it spans the world. I mean, some of the names that are on here are just insane. A lot of them are major banks. Now, I bring this up because Ripple was added to the ISDA back in like 2023. I have that post actually over here, which I did make a post about. This is actually quoting Crypto Airy because she did say that, Ripple joined the ISDA along with 1,000 plus institutions worldwide, which again, we'll talk about here in a second. But I want to go back over here because even here we have this step is important for the adoption of tokenization because of the massive size of the derivatives markets. The notional value of the global derivatives market is more than 700 trillion, although the gross market value is around 20 trillion. When we think about what's happening here, though, they're supporting DLT-based cash and securities, which is ultimately building a bridge to the tokenized economy. Even if we go back in time a little bit, and this is only going back to October 15th, we have here, we think every asset will be on chain. This is from Ripple Swell, and this is Archix Exchange's Graham Rodford, their CEO, and Ripple's James Wallace, discussing how the growth of real-world asset tokenization is enabling new use cases for digital assets. Check this out.
What are your thoughts on the technology, aspect of that, and bringing on things like, CSDs into the equation? How do you make these things coexist, but how do you accelerate so you get more benefit?
Yeah, that's probably where I'm a bit more bullish on the adoption of these assets. I mean, we think every asset's going to be on chain. This technology benefits the issuer, the infrastructure, the investor for numerous reasons. So it's inevitable that this is coming. And you mentioned central securities depositories. And for those that don't know, like DTCC, Euroclear, they're kind of the books and records for a lot of publicly traded securities. And every single one of them, Euroclear, Clearstream, DTCC, these guys are looking at tokenization.
So if all of these big players are looking at tokenization, what does that tell you is in progress? We are witnessing a massive change. And it's a massive change fueled by these players like Ripple, with Archix, for an example. Remember that also back in October, on October 8th, Archix and Assetera partnered to offer tokenized RWAs in the UK and also Europe. But when we look into this, okay, So we're met with some information here, nothing too crazy. But if we scroll down, we could see some of the financial instruments that they are looking at tokenizing. In fact, they're addressing derivatives. All right, let's actually look into this. There we have it. Assetera currently lists a range of tokenized financial instruments, including transferable securities, fund units, and derivatives, alongside traditional RWAs like real estate and art. So now we're starting to see the big players forging some of these partnerships to get to that end goal, which is derivatives. It's always been about derivatives. That's the most amount of money out there around these markets. And also, from October 31st, this is from Archix, they were to acquire Spanish broker KSCM. And if we look into this again, we could see that this is based around adding crypto derivatives, focusing on distribution and, crypto derivatives, positioning us well for the upcoming implementation of MiCAR in the EU. And again, everything that we are starting to see now is based around derivatives. Now, I did make the post back in August of 2023, and I said I made a video yesterday talking about the huge announcement with Ripple joining the ISDA. The timing is so interesting, especially after the lawsuit decision. The ISDA has been drafting and launching standards behind digital asset derivatives. Now, I did mention, of course, the BIS report regarding how much money is behind derivatives. At that point, it was $632 trillion. Ripple has been focused on this market for a while, and even some community members pointed out Codius. I'm not too sure if Codius is still being worked on. Last update was around 2021. It's still significant to mention. In my opinion, this is one of the markets that is ripe for disruption. And yes, if we actually look at some of these announcements, this was back in 2022, January 18th, from the ISDA, developing contractual standards for crypto derivatives. On top of that, we have over here, this is January 26, 2023, ISDA launches standard definitions for digital asset derivatives. And then also, here we have the amount from the BIS. And then we have Ripple wins US patent for new Oracle-based smart contract design. This was in October of 2020. Ripple's patent design would allow derivatives to settle based on external information such as temperature data. And we know that Ripple has always been focused on derivatives. It's always been a big key aspect. Now, I bring all of this up because we have from Bitstamp, XRP gonna make history next year. Now, I wouldn't bring this up if I thought that this was really kind of, tied back to something. What are we addressing here? What is XRP going to do next year? Is it just going to break to a new all-time high, make history? Sure, that could just be it. Or are we about to see something much bigger happen? What we know over here that Bitstamp is building a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger and being acquired by Robinhood in 2025, by the way. And I mentioned this many times already on the channel. Here we actually have the full-on announcement from Bitstamp, Robinhood to acquire Bitstamp. And then also over here, Ripple's XRP ledger set to boost Bitstamp's new derivatives exchange. Now, Robinhood recently listed XRP again. Robinhood decided to support XRP yet again, and at the same exact time, they're acquiring Bitstamp, which has been one of the longest, XRP supported exchanges. And we also have over here from Chad, Bitstamp already has stablecoins ready in every major currency on the XRP ledger, ready for the derivatives market, ROUSD. And if we actually look at the issued tokens here, we could see all of them. And Vet even said, I think Ripple stablecoin and XRP have certainly great chances now. Bitstamp is XRP ledger friendly, as you can see. And yes, it's very interesting. And even if we go over here, interesting fact, Bitstamp has the following stablecoins already issued on the XRP ledger. These are all the major ones. Robinhood now also has the tech infrastructure to list the XRP ledger issued tokens. And we have down here the full-on announcement back in June of Robinhood acquiring Bitstamp. It's very interesting to me on the timeline of all of this. It almost feels as if it's all perfectly aligned. And on top of this, I also want to address some of the announcements from the ISDA, and even this announcement as well, going back to October 22nd. From the ISDA, if we look under their tags within tokenization, we're met with two articles here. Number one is, this is more so a podcast. It's episode 40, making the US Treasury market more resilient. This is actually based around tokenization. And it's crazy because a lot of this will go completely unheard. Nobody will really kind of look into it. They don't care about it. They don't think it's going to happen. But the ISDA has been forging a path to tokenized derivatives. They have been working with players for a while. And then May 21st, 2024, ISDA tokenized collateral guidance note. Again, tokenization is on the agenda from every single major organization. This is not just a small time name. The ISDA is one of the largest players out there. Everyone needs to pay attention to some of these moves being made. And then also on October 22nd, we have tokenization. BIS Innovation Head says private sector needs to embrace change. There is no waiting now. We need to make sure that we are locked in here. We need to make sure that we're focused on the target here. We have here, because the financial infrastructures of today, they're not going to be fit for tomorrow. Interesting. She believes that there are two key requirements for tokenization to work at a global scale. One is digital identity, and the other is around regulation. Different jurisdictions are creating their own rules, but there's a need for mutual regulatory recognition, which will, take time. Otherwise, tokenization might just take off in certain regions without the potential global benefit. But, if we're really looking at what's happening here, everything is in progress. All we have to do is be patient. That's literally it. All we have to do is be patient. And even down here, we have an increasing number of central banks are wanting to allow for a DLT-based financial market infrastructure. And then you will see the beginnings of bridges from the current to what could be future tech. These are all of the big central banks that are already adapting their systems to accommodate for these technologies. For an example, the Bank of England, which they mention here. This is coming from a BIS head. I mean, this is the central bank of central banks, which, by the way, the BIS, Ripple's already a part of with the CPMI group. I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? Are we supposed to just sit back and say, oh yeah, Ripple is just a small-time blockchain-based company? There are nobody in this space, right? Or should we listen to the Bitcoin maxis that cling on to every single narrative to support their overall thought process on Bitcoin that says that Ripple's a scam and that, Brad Garlinghouse is a scammer and that XRP is, centralized, it's a banker's coin? Think about how funny it is to literally watch all of these connections become a big piece of what's happening right now. You go back in time, yeah, XRP was called the banker's coin. Look at what's happening today. Central bankers and banks are now embracing this technology. They're embracing the space. Who was first? Ripple has all of these massive connections. They're already tapped in on a lot of these organizations, and they are spearheading XRP ledger adoption, and they're promoting it for institutions. They want institutions to utilize the XRP ledger through their solutions. But the last big focus for me is derivatives, because everything will be tokenized. I said this back in August of 2023 as well. I said everything of value will be tokenized. Now think about this logically. You need to be able to transact and settle those tokenized assets. It's not just about how much money will be tokenized, but how much will be transacted and settled every single day. And I outlined all of the markets, including derivatives. I want you guys to realize how early we actually are. All we have to do is be patient. And I do believe that, yes, XRP will make history in 2025. Whether it just be a new all-time high or, the derivatives market, we have a lot to focus on when it comes to XRP. If you hold XRP, you need to be dialed in right now. You need to be locked in. It's not, there's a lot of noise out there. But when we look at what's happening here, the technology around the space, the connections back to some of these names, it is crazy. It's crazy what we are watching become a reality right in front of us. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.